So this is the Hoto Air Pump Pro, which I checked out in a recent video. It's sort of a portable, rechargeable, smart air compressor where you can pick your pressure and have it go up, and it has a built-in battery, and it's just super handy in case of emergencies and stuff like that. Now, I had a couple minor complaints about it, but overall it was pretty good. And now Hoto has sent over their bigger unit called the AirMaster, and pretty much all my complaints have been fixed on this one. However, it is a lot more expensive. So this is the Hoto Air Pump Master. So you can see on the top here, right off the bat, you can even use this on stuff like air mattresses. It comes with a car plug if you want to keep this in your vehicle. One of the things that I kind of complained about on the cheaper one was it could use a better carrying case, and it looks like we've got that on this one. And as well as I complained about the short charging cable, but it looks like they fixed that on this one as well. So the Air Pump Master is sort of targeted towards, adventures, inflatable tent, inflatable mattress, bicycle, boat, balls, whatever. So even if you don't need this for an inflatable tent or a mattress or a boat or anything like that, you can still just use this in your car or your bike or your lawnmower. I'm not remembering off the top of my head, so I'll throw it up on screen right here so you guys can look at it. But I think that this is in the $200 to $300 range, but like I said, the price will be right here, so I can correct myself if I'm wrong. But pretty large box, almost too big for the setup here. I'm going to flip this box 180 degrees so that I can actually fit it right here. So, first things first, here is the Air Pump Master instructions. Pretty basic, don't think you'd really need it. And then right underneath that, this is our little accessory box. So in the accessory box, you have the charging cable, which is much, much longer than the one for the Air Pump Pro. And it also is a cigarette lighter style, so it works in your car. This looks like the adapter to use it with a basketball. This is a 90-degree adapter with a lock on it. Then all of these look like adapters for different air mattresses and boats and other inflatable things. Move all those off to the side. This is the unit itself, which once again I'll put off to the side until we get through the rest of this. So in the bottom of the box we have two different types of hoses. First of all, we have your standard tire hose, where this side goes on your car tire, lawnmower tire, ATV tire, whatever tire, bike tire, And then this side goes to the air compressor, the unit right here up to the side. And then this can be used for air mattresses and certain types of inflatable rafts and things like that. This, larger hose. And finally, the last thing is this nice waterproof carrying case, but it's actually more of a bag, to be honest. To compare, this is the travel bag for the Hoto Air Pump Pro, and this is the one for the Hoto Air Master. So it looks like it's waterproof with a watertight zipper. And then you have the strap right here. And it's just overall a much nicer bag. I think the whole idea behind this is if you have a inflatable raft or inflatable kayak, you can have your AirMaster unit in this and have it completely fine whenever you're on the water. Or doing whatever else you might need to do, having it in this waterproof case. So you have the small pocket on the outside to put your cables or your air hoses. Then of course there's a bigger compartment to put the actual unit. So a little later, just going to test this with probably a car tire and some other stuff. Just see how long it takes and if it can do a whole tire on one battery charge. So the battery capacity on the AirMaster is 2500 milliamp hours. So decently sized but not huge. Probably about the size of an average cell phone battery. So long press says back, and short press means start and stop, and then rotate is modes. This is charge the machine fully before first use, so I'll be sure to hook it up before testing it a little later. Right off the bat, something that I like a little more about this unit as compared to the Air Pump Pro, while there still is this kind of awful gloss that can scratch really easily, it is not nearly as large as the other unit. Even though this unit is much larger overall, it's a much smaller area that has the little gloss plastic. So that's just something that I prefer personally. So top of the unit we have the power button, our mode select dial with our screen in it, which we'll get to. On this side we have pump up and pump down, which you can fit the big hose on both of these, and then the small hose goes in the pump up side. You have our LED flashlight. Nothing on these two sides aside from just a little bit of branding, and then you can see the intake all along the bottom here. Under this flap you have a USB Type-C for output, I believe, and then just a DC in, for charging. So overall, it's about the size of my hand, so not massive. Here's the Air Pump Pro for comparison. It's probably about double the size of the Air Pump Pro while being a little thicker, but it has a bigger battery, stronger pump, and more support for accessories like air mattresses and stuff. For someone that regularly camps, I feel like this could be the perfect all-in-one solution for inflating your mattress, worrying about your vehicle tires if they get low, stuff like that. We're going to go outside in a little bit and try to inflate a vehicle tire just from basically completely flat. But first, let's just test it out. So we have the power button right here, and then it comes on, and then we have our battery icon in the top right, which is currently full. So twisting this, it changes between the modes. So we have SUP, or, you know, little kayak looking thing, inflatable mattress, ball, car, bicycle, high flow, which has a picture of that little hose, high pressure, which is the smaller hose, pump down, so you can, you know, shrink an air mattress or whatever, you know, take the air out of it, and you know, we're back at inflatable tent and SUP. So that's all the different modes. It's kind of hard to tell, but I do believe that this might be an OLED screen. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't see any backlight or anything around the edges of these black areas where you typically would see it. And for the price point, I would hope that it would be an OLED screen. Like I said, if it's not an OLED screen, it's fooling me, but it really does look the part. Not too sure how well it shows up on camera, but this knob is a big circle, but the screen's only a square in about this area. The top corner of the screen is where the battery icon is, for example. And then there's no hose hook to it, but if you press it, then you can select your pressure. So we want our air mattress at 0.4 psi. Tap, and then it goes. So that one obviously uses the bigger hose area right there. We can press and hold to go back. And then now for something like a car. That uses the smaller hose right there. So that's the Hoto Air Pump Pro. I think that's about all I can show you guys. Let's go get some testing, see how it handles a car tire. But if you're looking for something like this, I think it's very useful. However, the price point is a little steep. So like I said, I probably would not buy this myself personally. However, the price point was a little lower, or if I needed something very specific like this, it is enticing. I'm going to pick a tire, probably a car tire or something, and I'll get back with y'all. Okay, so here is a car tire. I'm going to deflate it pretty low, not all the way, because I don't want the tire to literally be on the ground, because that might mess it up a little bit, but we're going to deflate it quite a bit, and I'll get the unit right here to where you can kind of see it. Don't think I mentioned this in the video, but there's your flashlight. It's pretty bright out still, however, it is plenty bright enough, especially if you're in the dark inflating your tire. If you point at the tire and just turn it on, if it was nighttime, that would be plenty bright enough to at least see the tire stem. Okay, so that's not flat, but we can all agree that that's properly low. It can come on screen right here, and don't know how well this is going to show up on camera, since it is still a little bright out, but it's on car mode right now. I can click that, and then it's going to go 37. Okay, call the time at 4 minutes and 10 seconds to get a flat car tire to 37 psi. So 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Now that is a little longer than I expected, but compared to the small compact air compressors that come with your car that are similar size to this, that's probably actually a very similar time. Just to show you guys, I mean, this is just a pretty typical car tire. It's not a giant off-road truck tire or anything like that. But to fill this up from flat, it took approximately 4 minutes and 10 seconds. It took a little longer to fill up than I imagined, but if you're in a pinch, it did it in, you know, less than 5 minutes. So you can be back on your way in less time than it would take to call someone to come and do it for you. And get you out of situations where typically you'd be stuck. If we look at the screen right here, looks like we're at about 50% to 75% battery. Is kind of hard to tell, but I only did one tire, so you can definitely do an entire tire on a charge, maybe even 2 or 3. So this is the Hoto AirMaster, and at the end of the day, I'd recommend it if you need something to get you out of a pinch. I'll catch you guys in the next one. That's all from me. I'm out. Peace.